Oh, my loves, how are you? So last night on my Patreon, I shared a post around some of these very quite intense energies coming in that felt deeply connected to the divine masculine collective as a whole. So these energies are being felt by many, even the feminines, as their internal masculine energy is also working with these shifts. But it deeply was coming in around the energies of the divine masculine collective. It was just that sheer exhaustion that has been kind of coming in and out over these last few weeks. And when I sat down to actually do the video, I was not even able to articulate words or sentences, and ultimately ended up going to my bed before 8 p.m. and slept for like 12 hours. But what I was feeling was this energy that there's certain trajectories, timelines, or experiences that many in the collective have been learning from. But now these specific learning arrangements or experiences are coming to a halt because they're no longer bearing fruit or no longer fruitful. Sort of like we have learned what we are able to learn within those bandwidths. And as I'm saying this, I feel that the more it's coming through is what the masculines were showing me, but the more I'm speaking, the more I'm aware that this is the counterpart collective working within these energies. And I feel that there's many that may have had specific contracts or energies that they agreed to work within, goals they agreed to hit and accomplish. And my sense is that many of those have been achieved. And so this is why even the feminines are feeling this, because between the two, many are coming into the completions of those contracts, experiences, lessons, and goals because we are ready to move into the next phases. And with that, it, as you guys know, that I've been speaking about quite a bit, we know the planet as an overall being is ascending. And so all of humanity is in the process of ascending, even if people are not necessarily aware of this part of what is occurring, it is actually occurring. So that is really what I'm going to dive deeper into. I originally thought this was going to be a masculine message, and we most certainly will dive into those. But I would like you to look at this and receive it even as a feminine for your own internal masculine energies. And of course, applying that to your dynamic connection and relationships. But it feels as a very shared space, but the masculines are reaching a point. So this, I believe why it's coming in this way is because many of the feminine or even the masculines who have been working on their internal union knowingly and actively with awareness, right? We're all always working on it, but some of us are just doing it um thinking about it in these terms, right? So those that have been working with the feminine or the internal feminine energies may notice that you have an awareness when shifts are happening or needing to happen. You may almost sort of start to get a feeling about it before it actually happens, like your higher self is prepping you for the shifts. And so you're sort of easily, more effortlessly flowing into the changes and the transformation and the shifts versus having resistance in your system. And what I was sensing with some of the masculine, not all, but with some of the masculine collective, or even within some of the feminine internal masculine energies, was sort of the resistance to the change. But the resistance that I was tapping into actually feels like that energy of feeling um determined, like I'm gonna make this happen, sort of that like sheer will and strength of action, like I'm going to make these things happen because this is what I feel is the correct thing. And I understand and can feel that it's coming from actually a space of self-protection, self-preservation, survival, and actually enacting what they know how to do, which is coming from a very genuine place. Beneath that, I'm sensing that it is the protective mechanism that they're using to sort of ward off maybe the emotions or the other things that have been being avoided and dissociated from. And part of why this has happened was because it was a distraction away from what they were attempting to accomplish as a masculine, whether it was the goals or the survival or the thriving or the provider energies. And it's really, I'm honoring this. This is not any form of judgment. This is just the truth of what was in the masculine system and is in the masculine system, and also within many feminines, that there's that energy of like, I have to put my survival, protection, and providing first before I can look at the emotions or the love or X or the joy or X, Y, and Z. But now this is coming to a point where the divine energies, the higher energies, the planetary ascension energies are reaching a very pivotal point where many are being pushed outside of that comfort zone, and there's sort of like all the air is sucked out of the room, out of that specific trajectory. And so where a lot of energy and effort has been expended by many of the masculines up until this point, they're finding that their labors are not bearing the level of fruit that was expected or that they received in the past. And this is because there is actually a higher energy that is pushing them to actually evolve and ascend into their true capability and capacity, to expand into those heart energies, into their higher abilities, so that they can actually truly start to build the life that they actually were intended to build and create and have. And this is happening because the truth of what we have seen and known in the unconditional love and unity consciousness energies that are wanting to be seeded and bloomed and blossomed on this planet, well, they are not able to bloom and blossom within the old templates. Now, mind you, there's parts of the old templates and there's value in the old systems, but it's really important that we are able to unravel, dissolve, and retrieve ourselves out of the parts of the old systems that are keeping us squished and limited from blooming and blossoming into the new ways of being. I'm also excited to share with you, as someone personally who was guided deeply to extract as much as possible out of the old systems. I spent multiple years in a deep limbo state until I received guidance of step-by-step guidance of how to interact with the old systems in the new ways. Like I've expressed to you here, sort of like how I use YouTube as part of my ways of sharing versus seeing myself under YouTube. I view YouTube as one of my tools, or my bank account as one of my tools. But each thing that I do within some of the older systems, I'm coming at it from the new energy and essence of reciprocity. And just this past week, I have had significant confirmation that some of the old systems are actually ready to start receiving the new energies and essences. And it's many of our purpose and job to work with those to help them upgrade into the new energies. Some will be collapsing and dissolving, some will be upgrading and moving forward with us. At the bottom line of what I've learned is that it's really about those of us who have the capacity to come from a tempered energy, to go into whatever situations we're in and actually do it from a space of reciprocity, camaraderie, and really taking our time to notice and receive what is being reciprocated as long as it is being done in a respectful manner, and see how the old systems and the new systems can bridge to support ourselves and as much of the collective as possible with the smoothest, gentlest, calmest, most peaceful, loving transition that we possibly can. Okay. Now, this is something that I'm sure we were uncertain if it would be able to play out this way. But I can tell you that from my personal experience, I am finding that as long as I'm approaching it with mutual respect for myself and others, without walling, without running, but also without backing down or going into any form of victimization energies, taking responsibility for myself, maintaining healthy boundaries, maintaining loving energies toward myself and others, I am seeing massive and beautiful results. And so this is to confirm if you've been in any of those types of situations to keep moving forward. It's these types of energies that are allowing this next level of transformation to occur for those of us as individuals, but and also the twin flame divine counterpart collectives stepping more deeply into their role and their purpose on this planet, which is to work with the planet, working with the land and the higher energies of source to embody and build and co-create the unity consciousness templates. Okay, my loves. So if you find yourself being moved and guided to connect with the earth and connect with the land, and I've had some of you ask me, what does this have to do with the counterpart connections? Well, my loves, this is actually a huge portion of why so many of you have been activated into your initiation with your divine counterpart, so that you can embody into your true, authentic soul essence, be exactly who you are to help unravel and dissolve the old limiting beliefs in the old limiting perspectives and support unity consciousness and true unconditional love within yourself, for yourself and your counterpart is where you're learning that. But those are meant to be applied across the planet. Okay. And this is so incredibly important when we're talking about you just embodying into you. It doesn't need to look a specific way. You don't have to get a YouTube channel, although if you feel guided to, please do it. Or whatever else it is, whether you're offering services or doing art or being a teacher, it does not matter what you're guided to do or how you're guided to do it. It's just more that it's coming from your heart and your authenticity and your intention for unity, consciousness, and temperance. And this energy is something that comes from the capacity to hold space, to hold stable, to hold secure within yourself, regardless of what is happening, which is why I shared that 4 pillars of support message most recently. Okay. And with that, I want to let you guys know that free session is there on YouTube. I'll drop it there. But also, I did go deeper into another full session. And per request for multiple people, I did bring back the 30-minute session for those of you that may want to connect with me. And also, I did reactivate the personalized recorded video readings on my site. I'll put all of that in the pinned comments. Mostly what is happening is I'm being guided to bring multiple different levels of supports for you, from the free videos here to the Patreon community to the the mini sessions to my one-on-ones so that you have a variety of supports available to you should you feel guided to utilize those. This all really, again, goes back into that temperance energy of being able to be comfortable and stable and strong within yourself, no matter what is happening within the duality energies on our planet. As the twin flame divine counterpart collectives are here to sort of transform the duality. It's not about necessarily getting rid of it. It's about having the capacity to be able to temper and hold space within that, okay? To care for yourself. And of course, like again, as I've always said, if you're in any form of actual physical danger, by all means, please do whatever you need to do to care for yourself. But if not, and you're in a position where you can drop in and address your own triggers, temper your energies, and find tempered unity consciousness solutions, then I encourage you to, by all means, drop in and do those things. Okay. And yeah, what I'm going to do, I know I went on with this for a bit, but I am going to pick a couple messages from the masculines. And then I'm going to go deeper into these energies on my Patreon because I actually feel like there is quite a bit with this new deeper stream that is coming in. So let's see what the masculines would like to share. Wow. Okay. So the first card that came out was the Six of Wands, which is this victory card. And with it coming slightly turned in this manner, this feels to me that it's sort of signifying that what I spoke about at the beginning of this, where I spoke about us getting to that point that what we set out to do initially is coming to an energy of victory. Like those goals have been accomplished. So this means now we're preparing to go to the next phase. The beautiful energies that just came in is the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. So to me, this is signifying that the masculine collective is ready to embody into his higher physical masculine form. The feminine is ready to embody into her higher physical emotional form. And so when I look at this from an internal union perspective, this is speaking to me about the fact that many in the collective, feminines and masculines, either have or are in the process of both tempering and harmonizing their emotional world, their emotional body, as well as their physical material world. And as you're seeing signs and signals of both of these occurring for yourself in your own internal union, your capacity to temper your emotions and your capacity to embody into your physical world and care for yourself. It does not matter if you are masculine or feminine. These are multiple dimensional signals of your capacity to embody internal union energies. And ultimately, these are the types of embodiments that we're aiming for as individuals, as counterparts, as ascending, embodying collective. Okay, my loves. All right. I'm going to choose one more card. Let's see. Yep, I'm going to get it from just to bring it home with one final message of support for all of you here with me before I go more deeply into the messages on Patreon. But we have winter's dream gestation period. So again, this is confirming more deeply what is occurring. Well, right now, where I live in the Northern Hemisphere, we are in winter in this gestation period. And so I'm going to speak about it. And this is what we're going to go deeper into on Patreon. During this time, during this next few months that we have left of winter, just about 2 months to be exact, what is it that we can focus on and work with and expect to support this transformation process into the next phases of the collective. Because what's coming through right now for you to bear in mind is that whenever we go through a huge transformation, especially on a collective level, and we've completed out an enormous phase that may have been going on for the past 2, 3, 4 years, and those have been accomplished, well, we have this next few months to sort of allow ourselves to receive more deeply the results of that and gear up and strengthen our energy to prepare for the next phase that feels to be coming more deeply in the spring, but that we are working on and preparing for now. Okay. So if you are guided to sleep longer, like I did last night, please do it. It's part of this transformation. When we're sleeping at those levels or we're feeling those levels of exhaustion, it's in part because we are preparing for the next phase, the next growth. Okay. And also for those who have been sort of having their momentum in a specific direction in this next few months, what's going to be happening is sort of a stopping or a stalling of that and a redirection to where they are actually meant to be. And I liken this to, I myself went through this in the past while I was attempting to make my marriage work or trying to make it work. And no matter how much I tried and no matter how much effort I put into it, the efforts were just not fruitful. And now I can see so clearly in retrospect, it was because that was not where my soul belonged. I was asking to be where I was meant to be in alignment with my purpose. And then I was also putting in all of these efforts into something I had built, but the two did not align with where I was meant to be. And so it finally eventually reached this precipice where I was divinely extracted from that situation. And that's a perfect example of what I feel is either in the process of occurring or will be occurring for many, especially over this next month or two, and sort of a ramping up for the next phase of our ascension embodiment. So very beautiful. Again, I'm going to go deeper into what's going to come forth or what we can be aware of or how we can support ourselves and work more deeply with these energies over the next few months on my Patreon. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day as you move into your weekend. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what you've been experiencing or share if you feel guided, and I will put all of my information in the pinned comment. Again, wishing you so much love and so much rest during this intensely transitional time. Much love. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.